Hispanic Heritage Month is September 15th to October 15th.
Why does it start in the middle of the month?
It's a fantastic question.
Do you know?
I do not.
Does our YOLO West Sacramento Mayor Martha Guerrero know?
Maybe. But my point is that, I brought it up because Darling's son Lennox Albert was commissioned to draw a Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Like those funky, colorful skeletons you see.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos. Right.
I said that to him and he was like, yeah, that's the Day of the Dead, Mom.
He was, and his whole class did.
Yeah.
Drew these funky, colorful skeletons in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, which via Google I found starts on September 15th and goes through October 15th. And then I asked, well, what did you do for Asian Heritage Month? And he said...
Oop.
And so I said, what did you do for Asian Heritage Month? Which is May 1st through May 31st. So what's better? So have spanning your Heritage Month spanning 2 months, starting in the middle of 1 month and ending in the middle of 1 month. So you get 2 months on the calendar, or Asian Heritage Month, which is 1 month. Which is
you know
better.
What? You asked him this and he said nothing.
Right.
And you were like, well.
Just, who do I complain to? First of all, racial. Okay. Yes.
I've never heard of Asian Heritage Month.
That's another thing.
But I did see this Hispanic Heritage Month on the socials.
Right.
So what's up with that?
I don't know.
Why am I not being exposed to the Asian Heritage Month?
Right. Well,
and I feel being married to an Asian man and having children of Hispanic descent.
Yes,
I feel an obligation to honor both.
Yes, we're a colorful rainbow. Well, what I remember specifically from Asian anything is that Stop Asian Hate, when that guy in Atlanta killed those massage parlor ladies.
Oh, yeah, that was
he went on a shooting spree
a year or so ago.
Yeah, and then people began with the hashtag Stop Asian Hate.
Yeah. And
that's the last thing I remember.
The only thing I ever hear about Asian heritage is the yearly New Year celebration. Mm-hmm. But yeah. I didn't know they had like an official Heritage Month.
Neither did I.
Honestly, I didn't know about the Hispanic one either, unless it's new.
Right.
But I did hear about it a lot on Facebook, and it kept popping up on Twitter and whatnot. So
yeah. Well, I remember as a kid, because the Vietnamese celebration, New Year, like you hear the year of the ox. This is the year of the goat. This is the year of the snake. That's Chinese New Year, but Chinese and Vietnamese traditions are very intertwined, and my Uncle Ang could better explain it, but he passed away a few months ago.
Don't they have the same calendar?
Yes.
Like the same New Year celebration time period? Okay.
And from what I remember from my Uncle Ang, who lived in Fremont, California, there were a lot of Chinese who went to Vietnam to escape the horribleness that is China.
Okay.
So they went to Vietnam, and then they ingrained themselves and just influenced Vietnamese heritage and tradition. So that's what I remember. But as far as a Asian Heritage Month, we missed it, honey. It was May 1 to May 31.
Okay. Well, I didn't know about this. I knew about the New Year, which takes place like in February.
Yes.
And as a little kid in elementary school, we celebrated Chinese New Year's.
Really?
And we each got a little red.
You got red envelopes?
Yeah.
Well, holy
But you know
Toledo.
what? I didn't know.
What was that, cultural appropriation, honey?
No, it was educational. Okay.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I wish we had learned back then that it's not just China who celebrates this New Year. It's like other Asian cultures.
Yeah.
It was only focused on Chinese. And we got little paintbrushes and we learned to write like some Chinese characters on a paper.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
This was in Rosemont in the 1990s.
Well, as far as Chinese New Year, sort of Vietnamese New Year, I remember with my mom, and I don't remember who my dad was at the time, but either my real dad or my stepdad, who I love dearly. For 1 year, we went to San Diego State, and there was a whole deal, like a bunch of food and tradition and heritage and culture going on. Lots of booths. I remember that specifically. And that's what I remember. And then every once in a while, because my mom was by herself in San Diego, but if I was in San Jose during Chinese New Year, I'd get a red envelope or two with money. But it was Chinese New Year, but again, that sort of intersects with Vietnamese New Year.
The Vietnamese also do the red envelope?
Yes.
Oh.
But see, I don't know if it's an influence or direct.
And again, like
directly related to the Chinese.
And then Chinese people migrated.
Yes.
Like I know my sister-in-law is Mien.
Yes.
And so her tribe comes from, like, they're in Thailand, but their ancestors migrated from China. So they're like ancestors of China.
Yeah.
They don't have their own country now, but they ended up in Thailand. They're the Mien people.
Yeah.
So I bet, or I don't know, but I'm guessing like the Asian cultures, maybe like depending on past migration and like the cultural blending, like maybe these traditions overlap.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and there's no 100%. This is what happened to these people, but their homeland is now Elk Grove, California. Am I right?
Yeah. Or San Diego / San Jose.
San Jose.
In your family's case.
That's what I remember. And to bring it back to what we were talking about 10 minutes ago.
Hispanic Cultural Month.
Hispanic Heritage Month.
I'm sorry.
Takes 2 months.
Well, okay.
To which
30 days spanning 2 months.
Lennox Albert, who is half Mexicano, right?
Sort of. They have okay. I'm fascinated by heritage. I'm fascinated by DNA.
Totally.
Okay. So, Luna and Lennox, my side is like pure white. Like my heritage is...
Oh, yeah.
My mom did a ton of like family history. Mm-hmm. So I know that my roots are from the Isle of Man, which is a tiny little island near England.
Is that 2 N's or 1?
1.
Isle of Man.
It's a little island near England.
Okay.
And Scotland. Like that's the bulk of my family history. And then I also have like French and English. So French, English, Scottish, like that's my, like, so I'm super white.
Wow.
Okay.
You are the Fisher side is, you can't get no wider.
And then, so I married my first husband and.
Wait. Hold. Stop the pod. Stop broadcasting. You were married before me? Yes. Sorry,
I was. So, and then Luna and Lennox, their dad, the paternal side of their heritage is like purely Mexican, like straight Mexican, as far as we know.
Yes.
And then their grandma is half Mexican, half white.
Okay. Beverly?
Yeah, Bev is half white, half Mexican.
Okay.
We don't really know what her white side entails.
Yes.
Because she's from Oklahoma. There's okay. Any person you know from Oklahoma, tell me if this is a thing you've heard. Yeah. Anybody you know from Oklahoma claims that they are like half Cherokee. So
Okay.
Bev's mother always claimed she was like half Native American. But
Okay.
so this is like a tradition in like the oral American tradition of people from the South, and
Yes.
specifically like from, what did I say?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Yeah. They all claim to be like half Native American. So
Okay.
so that's like the oral tradition, but we don't really know for sure. But she's definitely half white. So I've always assumed that my kids are a little bit more white than Hispanic because they've got me who's all white.
Yes.
And then their dad is technically 3/4 Hispanic, 1/4 white.
Wow.
But as we know,
America is a melting pot.
as you know, DNA is not strictly 50-50.
Correct.
Like you get some from one parent, you get some from the other, but it's not strictly 50-50. It's like this is so fascinating to me how this breaks down.
Yeah.
But anyway, in conclusion,
Yeah.
the kids have a little bit more white than Hispanic in them.
Ah.
In conclusion.
Okay. First of all, Oklahoma is a musical, right?
Yes.
But it has to be with the exclamation point.
Yes.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with South Pacific, which was a musical also.
No exclamation point.
Oh, no exclamation point.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a revelation to me as their darling stepdad. They are more
They're
white.
They're slightly more white because Louis,
Anglo-Saxon. if
their
you will.
dad is technically 3/4 Hispanic and 1/4 white. But we
Okay.
don't know exactly what that white is.
Ah.
Is it truly like Native American, like his heritage claims? Is it just white?
So-
What else is in there?
So, darling daughter Luna Marie and darling son Lennox Sauber they got 100% white from you,
Yeah.
and then they got 25%? Or do you break it down to 12.5%?
Well,
White
it's hard to tell because
from their dad.
we aren't sure exactly. Okay, I did the math one time, and I don't know if this is accurate, but
Yeah.
they're pretty much like 60% white, 40% Hispanic. But again, I've learned this recently that like the DNA breakdown between your two parents, it's not strictly 50-50.
Yeah.
Like you inherit,
absolutely.
you don't inherit.
There's
50,
other stuff
50.
going on
Yeah.
beyond your direct parents.
It's so fascinating to me. So they might have more, like, and even one to the other, like one over the other might have a little bit more of the Hispanic DNA than the other,
Yeah.
which is so fascinating.
So like
to me.
one chromosome versus one X versus Y is what you're saying?
Something like that.
Wow.
Like even though Luna and Lennox have the same mother and father,
Yes.
they don't have the exact same DNA contributors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chromosome.
And that
chromosomes, am I right?
And that leads to why like siblings look different.
Women be shopping, am I right? Yeah. Well, we've talked about this, how like Lennox and Luna, people will say Lennox just looks just like you. You
Me.
being my wife,
Mother,
Carolyn. Yes.
Carolyn White.
And we're like, yee! We kind of grimace.
And I do think like my baby pictures, I do think look a bit like him.
Okay.
I'll have to show you sometime.
He was white and chubby.
He's always been super white
Were
and
you
chubby.
white and chubby, honey?
Always have been.
Yes.
Although, like some of his baby pictures,
Yeah.
like he's had a couple cousins who have been like, oh my gosh, that looks just like his dad.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely Luna looks Hispanic.
Yes.
And I've always thought that Lennox looks more white.
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah.
But then I've had other people...
Like we talked about, maybe 55% white, 60%, 51.
But that's me. That's like only my vision.
Yeah.
And then I've had other people who be like, no, Lennox totally looks Hispanic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's just become a thing to say. Like, a person has an offspring. Oh, they look so like you, or they look just like you, or they look like you, and it's like, what? They
Yeah.
might look 5% like you, or 25% like you, or 30% like you, but well, in the end, they look like nothing like you. And let's get 23andMe up in here.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
We've talked about 23andMe.
Yeah.
You aren't interested in it. I'm not interested in doing it.
No.
Maybe the kids, when they grow up, they'll want to do it. I'm not sure.
Well, opinion is that if I find out someone from Hungary is related to me on a 14% basis, who gives a shit? Like I've lived 44 years without knowing my Hungarian side of 14 to 16%, and if I don't know it until I die, I'll be fine. And I don't care to know it, I guess.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
This is another fascinating tangent we could go on, but I'm not sure if
Yeah.
you want to. Should we just get to like what we're talking about?
No, let's stick to the
Okay.
fascinating tangents
Here's
and
a
not get to the 13 things in
So-
your basement that a professional organizer would throw out.
The kid's grandma.
Happy birthday,
Oh,
Carrie Lewis.
yeah. We want to do a shout out to
Yeah.
our possibly number one fan.
Yes.
Yesterday
Definitely
was
in the top 3. Besides Paul and Kathy Lewis.
Paul, Kathy, Liz Fisher, and
Yes.
Carrie.
Top
Okay,
4.
yesterday was my cousin Carrie Lewis's birthday.
Yes.
And we know she listens and we love her.
Yes.
And we just want to say hi and happy
Yes.
birthday.
Yes. And I don't want to turn this into a let's happy birthday to everyone we know, because
No,
then
no.
that would be terrestrial radio. And
Only the
why
top-
did Rob Arnie not do that?
We'll say happy birthday to Carrie, my mother,
Okay.
and Carrie's dad, Paul.
Okay. What about my mom, honey?
Oh, sure.
That's 3.
Of course.
3 out of 3, 100%.
Grandma Tien.
The Fishers.
Okay, 4 people.
Okay. What were we talking about that was super fascinating?
Well, I just the
Heritage
24. What's it called? 23 and
23
Me.
and Me. Yes.
Like, okay, the kid's grandmother
Yes.
on their Garcia side
Mm-hmm.
did 23 and Me about 5 years ago.
Okay.
She never knew who her biological father was, and she's 61 now.
Yes.
So a few years ago, she did 23andMe. She discovered who her biological father was, and he
Okay.
doesn't live very far away.
Okay.
And she discovered she has a few half siblings.
Okay.
And
so
so then-
she didn't know who her dad,
No.
her quote unquote real dad was.
She had no idea who her biological father was. She was raised by her mother.
Okay.
So, and then her mother died 13 years ago, 14
And-
years ago.
And she had a few half.
She's
siblings.
had, yeah. So the mother raised all these siblings together.
Okay. See, so pause for a moment. As me being me at 61 is what I'd be like, I don't need to know who my
know.
quote unquote real dad was.
Why would you do that? I mean, you know what?
I'm
I
not
can't
sure.
judge. I have known my whole life who my biological mother and father are.
Yes. Grandma Liz Fisher and Alan Fisher.
Yeah. So, you know what? If you never knew, or it was like kind of unsure,
Yeah.
maybe you'd want to know for sure.
Hmm.
And so I can't imagine that, but I also can't judge that.
But then what would you do with that information, or how would
Well,
that change your life?
She
you
talked.
sought
She had
seek
some
out?
conversations with her biological dad.
Okay.
She had some conversations with her biological sister. The sister actually came to visit her, stayed with her for a couple weeks,
Okay.
and then you know what? That was
Did
a
they
couple,
party?
that was a couple of years ago, and I don't know what.
She stayed at her house?
Yeah.
So, like, we've never met before, and some website on the internet said we were related. Come stay in our guest room.
Yeah.
They have a triple bunk, honey, if you didn't know.
They do.
Luna Marie sometimes stays in the top bunk, which is right near the ceiling.
It's very hot up there.
It's very hot up there. But her only alternative is to stay in the study where Lorenzo bothers her.
Or the downstairs couch.
Oh my god.
Anyway, it's just interesting. You know what?
Absolutely.
We're humans. We're all here on this planet together.
Yeah.
We're all connected in some ways.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating to me what we inherit from each side of our paternal and maternal sides.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me, like, who's out there, who are you related to, what is your heritage,
Yeah.
what does it matter at the end of the day?
Right.
What does it matter?
In the end, that's my conclusion. What does it matter? And my hypothesis / theory. Hypothesis goes in the beginning of your 5-paragraph essay, honey.
Yes.
And the theory goes at the end of
I
your...
remember that from 5th grade
Oh
science.
my goodness. Anyways, but in the end, my thought is, it doesn't matter. And I'm 44. And I've made it this far to quote. Jeez, I'm quoting my mom now. But I've come this far, and who cares about the rest of it? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me. And I don't want to bring more variables into my life at this point.
Yeah.
Is what I would say. I don't need acrimony. I don't need more knowledge. I'm married to you, honey. I have a couple darling stepchildren who I would call my quote-unquote children, if you will. Bringing more acrimony, nonsense, or just information to my life, it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't fulfill me. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect my current state, my current being, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting thing to decide to put yourself into.
Yeah.
Because at this point with the 23andMe thing, you know, if you're putting yourself into this system, you may or may not come up with like random family members you didn't know existed.
Yeah.
And do you really need to know, like, I'm 3% Neanderthal, I'm 4% Scottish?
Right.
Like, does it matter?
Yeah. No. My Aunt Tina is from New York. This is on my dad's side.
Yeah, okay.
My dad's side. Endicott, New York, if you will. Near Oswego, honey. The fall leaves during the fall.
Oh, that autumn foliage.
But my Aunt Tina, she's a ballerina. She's involved in ballerina-ish dance. Ballet. But she came out from New York to Oakland for something ballet related. And so I was like, well, I'm going to see you and spend time with you for the first time in 20 years. Maybe for the last time ever in our lives. So we hung out. It was Oakland, Lake Merritt. If people don't know, Lake Merritt is beautiful and it's big and there's lots of shopping and arts and crafts and all that nonsense. It's like a fair, a street festival. And so I saw my Aunt Tina, who I hadn't seen. I flew out there. My mom flew me out there. My mom flew me out.
Yeah.
I went out there.
For a family reunion, right?
Yeah. And I was 11-ish. Wow. I can remember at this point.
I can't believe she flew you out to New York State.
Yeah. And I remember Aunt Tina fed me Cheerios and a banana for breakfast every morning.
You stayed in her home?
Yes.
Okay.
With she was married to Uncle Richard.
Oh, okay.
AKA Dick. Okay. That's just his legal name, honey.
Was he nice or was he a D?
He was fabulous.
Oh, love you, Uncle Richard.
Wonderful. But it was a trip. It was a freaking trip to go from I'm a Southern California half Asian man to I'm an upstate New York sort of old school Italian dude. Mm. And then the family reunion was just it was the whole thing was a trip. Anyways, so she's like, "Hey, I'm coming to Oakland for a ballet thing." Okay, let's meet up. Yes.
Did she contact you out of the blue to let you know about that?
I believe so.
Okay,
it was several years ago. I can't remember. Yes.
Cut this out if you want, but
yeah, no.
This was around the time that you had hired you had hired a private investigator to find out what was going on with your biological dad.
Correct.
I thought that's how you reconnected with your aunt.
It was.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry.
No. It's cool. Lee Wolf, who contacted...
Lee Wolf?
Yes, that was his name. Wolf with an E, but he contacted me via Facebook, and he knew about my tale and my story, and he was like, he was a PI on some sort, or investigator.
You hired him, yeah?
I did not hire him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know the whole story.
Fine. He contacted me through Armstrong Getty.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He had heard some tale or some figment of my story, and he was like, "I can try." And this was his deal. I can't remember what he does specifically, but he was like, "I can try to find your aunt for you," and I was like, "Okay."
Wow.
And she put us. Lee Wolf with an E. He put us in contact, and I remember Lee telling me calling my Aunt Tina for the first time. Hey, your nephew Vince. Your nephew Vince is in Southern California, and this is from Lee Wolf and from my Aunt Tina. And she was like, "Get the hell out of here!" And she hung up the phone.
Really?
Yeah, because she couldn't believe it.
Oh wow!
And then Lee Wolf persisted and got into just a conversation and dialogue and back and forth with my Aunt Tina. And yeah, that's how I found out she was headed to Oakland.
So you went to this family reunion.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was when I was super
11
young.
or 12.
Yeah,
and then why did the contact stop for 20 years?
Because it's like we're in California and she's in New York, and our connection is my dad, and he kind of dropped off the map. So there was just no reason.
So to your knowledge, like, she didn't reach out?
No.
Your mom didn't reach out?
No.
Okay.
No. It's just, it's the reason many quote-unquote friends today, you lose touch. And it's sad, but also, on the other hand, that's life. And the Facebook is seen as, some see it as, Facebook sucks, or I hate Facebook. But on the other hand, I get to know what's going on with Todd Kimmel and my friend from high school, Chuck Johnson.
Are you friends with this aunt on Facebook?
Yes.
Oh.
But she hasn't updated much recently.
So you haven't heard from her?
Correct.
Like our wedding, etc. Like you haven't heard from her?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. I'd be curious what's going on with her.
Same. But so she came out to Oakland and she stayed at an Airbnb right next to Lake Merritt, and we spent the whole day just kind of washing it all out, like getting it all out, like what was up with my dad and what was up with you and what was up with me, and just getting it all out there. And we ate and we walked and we kind of saw the fabulous Lake Merritt, and it was a whole deal affair. And at the end of the day, it was just like, I love you, Aunt Tina. I think she said I love you back to me. But I thought I might never see her again because she's older. Okay. She's in her 60s-ish. And she's on the other side of the country. And that's just kind of the way things fall out.
Did you get the sense that she was being, like, very open with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. She was like, your dad has shown up uninvited, and has, and just to my home, which I couldn't imagine in a million years, someone who's, you don't really know what their deal is, who may be violent, who may be not, or you're just like, why is this person at my home? Oh yeah, we both put it all out there, and it was I loved having that time with her. And again, it probably won't happen again, but it was good to flesh it out.
It sounds very cathartic.
It was. And at the end of the day, I love you, Aunt Tina, and I didn't say this, but we may never see each other again, and you may die sooner rather than later because you're an old lady.
Did you get some sort of like connection or closure with your paternal side of your family?
Absolutely. Okay. It was so good for my heart and my soul, because the X factor or the Y factor, depending on, are you doing geometry or math? Algebra? Is my dad. And my dad, my quote unquote real dad.
I like the term biological, because then you don't have to say one or the other.
My biological dad is the X factor or the Y factor.
Yep.
And he may be, and she didn't know. He may be homeless. He may be dead right now. He may be, quote unquote, off the grid in Texas. Who knows? And I love the dude, but I'm on my own path right now. And I don't, quote unquote, need him. I have my mom and I have Grandpa Curtis.
What was your mom's reaction to this meeting with your Aunt Tina?
She was just kind of, she was cool with it. And I don't remember much just reaction or significance, or she just kind of, okay, that's good. Okay, that's
she wasn't like super like like uptight or like emotionally affected.
No.
Okay, that's interesting, because I think I would be in her place. But maybe she has different triggers or priorities than I do.
So to switch places, you would be my mom.
I think I'd be freaking out.
My real dad would be our darling children's.
Well, that's very confusing. You're confusing me. If you were my son, yes. I'd be like, how is this going to affect my son? Mm-hmm. What is he going to learn?
But when you're 43 or whatever I was, 41.
It is hard. Okay, so right now my children are minors. So, yes. Yeah. Right now I'm worried about everything that affects their emotional and mental and physical well-being.
You're going to make darling son take a Q-tip.
He's getting a
4
COVID.
Inches into his nose.
He's getting a COVID test tomorrow morning.
Because you're worried. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Well, we got to rule it out, don't we?
Yeah.
What would Mr. Newsom do? Isn't that how we live our lives?
Jennifer Seibel Newsom.
What would Mr. Jennifer Newsom do?
Yeah. Well, my mom was just cool, and you know my mom on some level.
I do.
You haven't spent 44 years with a woman like I have, but
I've tangentially spent the last 4 years with her.
Yeah. And she does her thing, and you stay off to the side and let her do her thing, and let you take in about 15%, 15 to 20%.
I imagine, like, okay, obviously for you, the situation is quite fraught and emotional.
It's not, though.
Oh,
but go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's my interpretation. I'm wrong.
Well, again, I throw in our ages. I'm 40-ish, and our darling children are 9-ish and 13-ish.
I'm seeing it from a mother's perspective.
Absolutely.
And like, my baby boy.
You're my mom, is what you're saying? What?
My baby boy, like, getting in touch with his absent father, paternal side. I imagine, like, being so stressed out. But you know what? I'm a worrier, and you know I stress, and I overthink things. Yeah.
Well, when Lennox is 40-ish and his quote-unquote real dad is 50-ish, 60-ish?
He's about 31 years older, so...
Okay. So, 40-ish?
No, he's 40 right now, so...
Oh my gosh. Wow. My mind is exploding. Well, if you were my mom, whoa, okay.
Okay. And your Grandpa Kurt. No, you're not.
Wow.
This is getting too complicated.
This is getting all Oedipus complexus, man.
Okay.
But my mom didn't trip at all, and was just like, cool. You got to hang out with your Aunt Tina for a day.
I think, kudos to her. Because I'm glad you just had that time with your aunt and you didn't have like added complications like, what is my mom thinking or feeling about this? Yeah. Yeah. That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah. My mom was cool.
Good.
And understandable. And when you're a man in your 40s like I am, honey. I'm 44.
But this was like, you were like 38 or 39 when this went down.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty close. That's pretty close.
Versus darling Lennox, who is 9 years old, who is, what is he doing right now? Watching Mr. Beast?
Or he's talking to his friends on Minecraft Live.
All right. That's when he closes the door. and then when you open the door, he looks at you like, get the hell out of here. What do you want? Yeah. And what was Lennox's assignment? If you could talk to one person and he said...
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
He missed school today. Because of his COVID symptoms.
Purported COVID, which you're going to make him take a 9-inch Q-tip in his nose. Yes,
I am,
honey.
because I'm a good mother.
Yeah.
Okay, so today his assignment was to write a letter to somebody.
A famous person, right?
No.
Oh, no.
It could have been anybody.
Okay.
So basically the teacher was going to teach them like how to write like a formal letter and then put it in an envelope and address it to, from, postage stamp.
Right. Are they actually going to mail it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But he missed school today. He was going to send it to his grandma Liz.
Right. Who we're going to see on Sunday.
We're going to see Sunday as long as he's feeling fine.
He could hand an envelope or a
maybe
letter.
I'll make him write one here at home to deliver. Hand deliver to her.
But he had homework where he put Mr. Beast in it, right?
Oh,
I want to meet someone or something.
He had a homework assignment was, I forget what it was. It was like, if you could be somebody for one day, who would you be?
Right.
He chose I would be Mr. Beast.
Right.
Who's a YouTuber.
YouTube! Yeah. Because Mr. Beast is nice and gives away a bunch of money.
Yeah, he's a famous YouTuber, so what else would a kid want in life?
Right. That's all you need. Or to be a D'Amelio and have a show on YouTube. Hulu. I'm sorry.
And oop.
What's a promo code you've been lured into clicking?
McDonald's
is late for 3 hours like Uncle Eddie.
Get out of here. McDonald's is advertising with podcasters? YouTubers?
No, they're not.
TikTokers?
No way.
And oop.
Greetings, Internet. Welcome to But I'm Still a Good Person by Vince Nicholas. I'm Vince Nicholas. I'm joined by my sparkling wifey, Carolyn Nicholas.
Hi.
Hello, honey.
Why are we doing this intro again?
Thank you for joining me at our dining room table for this little program here. Okay. So, the answer to your question is, I don't know. And we've been talking for 50-ish minutes. But let's get into this listicle. We got personal, we got real, we got relatable. Okay. But let's get into this silly listicle. Everything's slower now. I was so vibrant 20 minutes ago.
We're gonna wrap it up, okay?
Well, we will as quickly as possible. But we've slowed down. We've turned the lights down low, like a Boys II Men video.
Oh yeah.
And like a Boys II Men song, the deep voice girl, I'm here for you. All those times at night when
Honey,
you just hurt me.
Your deep voice is so sexy.
Ran out with that other fellow.
It's so sexy, honey.
And by the way, that guy is no longer in Boys II Men. For whatever
He didn't
reason.
join the reunion group.
Oh my gosh. We watch a lot of 90s music acts. Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Let's get into this listicle for purely entertainment reasons. And it's called 13 Things in Your Basement, which is a relative term that a professional organizer... my God. Would throw out. 13 things in your basement that a professional organizer would throw out. So, okay. So I winnowed this down from 25 things. And then we don't have a basement. We have a
closet in our garage.
Yeah. We call it the annex.
We call it the annex.
Yes. That we throw stuff in. That stuff, the previous owner of our condominium, Judy's Zone, was already in there.
Yeah.
She left it for us for some reason. But that's our annex. That's our basement. And this is just stuff. Like stuff you have around your house. Clutter, if you will. That a professional organizer would throw out. A professional organizer like that condo lady. Marie Kondo. Yes. You're supposed to hold on to each thing.
Does it bring you joy?
Yes. Does it bring you joy? And if it doesn't, then throw it out. But you have a cousin / aunt, Suzanne, who is a organizer on some level.
She's a professional organizer.
Yeah.
And she helps mostly hoarders.
My old neighbor.
Yeah.
In Citrus Heights.
Mm-hmm.
And what does she do? She shows up, or how do they reach out to her? They're just like, I have stuff to my ceiling, like my neighbor in Citrus Heights had. But they're just like, there's too much going on, and I need you and Suzanne to come in and...
You know what?
Yes.
I don't know. I haven't asked. I don't know.
But is there some professional organizer, some sort of certification? Are there classes?
No.
You could just say you're a professional organizer?
Yeah.
All right. Well, me and you, honey, we're professional organizers.
Okay.
So these are 13 things in your basement or your annex or in your home.
Or in your garage.
Yeah. That a professional that Aunt Suzanne would throw out. The first one. Appliance boxes. Yeah. I feel like, first of all, I feel seen. Okay. But like, we just got a coffee maker, a coffee thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it came in a box, obviously, and we unbox it. Go to our YouTube for the unboxing. Or don't. But we took it out of its packaging, and then we had this box with this fancy cardboard thing that fit around it. And on a personal level, I didn't want to throw it away because I was like, well, what if we have to return it to Target?
Yes.
We need this box.
Yeah, it's such a struggle. Mm-hmm. You get something, it comes in a beautiful little cardboard box.
Yes.
And you're like, what if I have to return this?
Yes.
Or if not, what if I have to return something and then I have this beautiful little cardboard box?
Yes.
Oh, it's so hard to decide.
Yes.
Just toss it.
Yes. There's the cardboard box, but then there's like the cardboard shaped box. That's like the coffee maker. That's sort of like, it's like an aliens movie going on. Like this thing that there's the box, and then there's the cardboard shaped like the coffee maker inside the box. And you're like, it's beautiful on some level.
It is beautiful.
Like the fact that they mass produce these, 1 million of these coffee makers, but they're so perfectly formed and shaped towards our coffee maker. And what if I need to return it? Mm-hmm. What if I need to return it? So I believe our current coffee maker I held on to for a week or two.
Yeah.
But in the end, it went into trash.
It's gone.
As Luna Marie used to say.
Goodbye.
Referencing her little brother. What happened there? Hillary Egan was involved.
Okay, I was pregnant with Lennox.
Yes.
Luna was 2 years old. Mm-hmm. And my friend came over, and we were showing my friend the bedroom where Luna had her little toddler bed, and Lennox had his new little crib. He was still in my tummy. And my friend said, Luna, where's your little brother going to sleep?
Yes.
Like expecting her to say, oh, that crib there.
Right.
But instead she said, I put my little brother in the trash.
Oh.
So now we often say, I put it in the trash.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a nonstop meme / joke / sticking point for this darling family we have here. I put my little butter in the trash.
Put my little butter in the trash.
I take out the trash. Any trash reference, I always say, that's why I put my little butter. And then, like, if Luna's around, she'll react to it. If Lennox is around, he kind of feels...
It's so cute.
He feels put out.
Oh, they're so cute. Oh, my God.
Darling children. Have a couple. Okay, so that was number one. Appliance boxes. Oh, do you remember we have a 70-inch television, which I eventually want to turn into an 80-inch television.
I do, of course.
Honey. Wait, I thought you were against an 80-inch television.
I am!
Oh. But we have a 70-inch television. But the box it comes in is super, like, sleek. It's thin. It's cool.
Okay.
And it's something to marvel at. It's an engineering feat, okay? Like those fancy houses in the Hollywood Hills.
Uh-huh.
But it took it's just something to look at. It in itself is an engineering marvel
Yes.
to fit a giant TV in this thin little box. Whereas back in the day, TVs had a big bootay, had a thick bootay, and they were just a normal box. What am I talking about? Oh, I want an 80-inch TV, honey, is what I'm saying. And they're only $700-ish. And we have a 70-inch. But I feel like we should have an 80-inch TV.
Why are you bringing this up?
I don't know. Okay, next one is... this is very related. 13 things in your annex that that Aunt Suzanne would throw out. What would Aunt Suzanne say about these boxes?
She'd say, shut up and keep it.
Throw it in the trash.
Keep it.
Next one, well, it's related, and I should have noticed this earlier. Old or broken electronics. Oh, so it's not related. So I did a whole thing, honey, in our garages, where I went through a bunch of cables and wires and various micro USB ports, and I laid them all out.
Well, you know what?
Yes.
You moved from your bachelor pad.
My bachelor pad.
Your bachelor pad in
Citrus Heights.
Citrus Heights.
Next to the hoarder, who we referenced earlier, yes.
So you got rid of some of your electronic paraphernalia.
I did.
And then when we moved here,
yes,
you had to do a further
I did culling or
purging.
winnowing, purging. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and as a man in my 40s, as we referenced in our very long discussion about Aunt Tina, but you get to a point in your life where you have a box of stuff. And then I went through it and I was like, do I really need this cable to this modem that worked in 2008 but may or may not be relevant? I don't want to think about it. Yes.
You had a lot of crap in your bachelor pad.
Totally.
In Citrus Heights.
Yeah.
And so when we finally sold it,
yes,
cleared it out.
Yes.
You're moving in. You're a married man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I am. I am.
You were and you are.
I was a married man. What?
Yeah, so you had to get rid of a lot of this crap.
Yeah. And these are... holy Toledo. To get real and specific, these were micro USB cables.
And
Old or broken electronics. As a man, and I went through all these cables and wires, and this goes to this, and this goes to that, and this goes to some sort of contraption that I owned in 2014. It's time to let it go. It's time to move on. So, yeah, you just have to do that. You have to go. You have to winnow. You have to purge all that nonsense, or else it will become overwhelming, if you will. Older broken electronics did that. Did it. Next one. 13 things in your basement that Aunt Suzanne would throw out. And these are two things, but I put them in the same category. Cans of paint / home renovation remnants. Okay. So we bought our condo from Judy's Zone. Darling Judy's Zone. And she left some tiles down in the annex.
Yep.
And cans of paint.
Yep.
And wood. Did she leave hardwood floors down there?
Yeah, some remnants.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we haven't used them, and they take up room in our tiny condominium.
It's time for those to go in the trash.
Yeah. We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
She left a wooden ladder. Okay, people. There are wooden ladders. She left us a wooden ladder that every time when I need to change out the kitchen light, I complain about it.
Yeah.
But we still have it.
I know. I know.
And when I climb up it, I think I'm going to fall to my death and die. But, yeah, she left us some stuff. And, but on the positive side, she left us, like, lights in our kitchen. Our kitchen lights that I changed out myself. So it's not all bad, but we do have paint in there that is it dry? Is it even usable anymore, honey?
It's kind of, we need to trash it.
Yeah. And home renovation remnants. We do not like our back. I do not like our backsplash.
I'm fine with it.
You don't like our. What is this? Chandelier. Chandelier. Our chandelier.
Oh my God, chandelier!
Charlie Sheen swung from in The Three Musketeers.
What?
Starring Chris O'Donnell.
What?
Well, when I think of chandeliers, I think of The Three Musketeers, the movie
you
made our family watch.
I think of Sia.
Who? SIA?
Sia, SIA,
The
chandelier.
one who she won't show her face.
She's swinging from the chandelier.
For some reason.
Okay.
But Judy's Own left us Backsplash.
Yeah.
Which I do not like. And she left us some hardwood floors, evidently.
She left
that
us
go
a
somewhere.
lot.
Yeah.
Okay. She left us a lot that we don't like. So we had to renovate and redo a bunch.
Right.
Yeah.
And we keep saying that we're going to change the backsplash / chandelier / kitchen lighting to recess lighting.
Yeah. We will eventually.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
and then we think we need to change this, and then it moves into when is my mom, Grandma Tian, going to move up to Sacramento to sort of be the foreman of this whole construction.
We need to stop that. It's us. It's you and I.
Is it?
Honey, it's us. We got to do this.
I'm still waiting for my mom.
No. Stop it.
Okay.
I'm here for you. We're
You
going
are.
to do this.
Okay. I can't wait. Next one. That was cans of paint. Yes. Next one on 13 things in your basement that Aunt Suzanne would throw out. Rarely used kitchen gadgets. Okay. We have a waffle maker, which I bought on a whim, on a lark, a few months ago.
Yeah.
And it's sat in the top of our cabinets since then, because no carbs before marbs. We have a and it costs $20. It's not a huge deal.
So basically, you're always on a diet.
Yes, except right now.
So it's your fault we haven't used it yet.
It is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we have any other rarely used kitchen gadgets, honey?
Yes, we have a dicer.
Yes.
For like garlic or onions or something.
Okay. Well, okay. So I bought a dicer from Amazon for about $20 that you can dice green bell peppers and onions and all that stuff.
Yep.
And then for your 15th anniversary with your job,
Yeah.
you were given a present. Like you had this catalog.
Yep.
Of a bunch of various accoutrements, dealios that you could choose from.
Yeah.
And I said, get the cast iron pan.
Yes.
And you were against that because
I was, because cast iron pans apparently are very like high maintenance.
Yeah.
And like difficult to keep clean and to maintain.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I said, I'm just gonna get the veggie slicer dicer.
Which I bought you about a year ago.
I know. Yeah.
And I was like, well, just get the highest ticket item and...
I should have got just like a ring or a necklace or something.
No. You should have got the cast iron pan.
Okay.
You should have gotten the most expensive item because your employer has done you wrong for 15 years. No. But I just thought, well, just get a cast iron pan, and then if we use it, we use it, and if we don't, we don't. And all those articles on the internet saying you need to wash it with baking soda 6 times a day. Okay, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of instructions for much of a kitchen paraphernalia that we do not follow and most people do not follow.
Yeah.
But you got another kitchen chopper slicer. It slices and dices. Very pretty much the same thing as what I bought you.
Yes.
And you haven't used the one that you chose. And
no, I haven't. No, it's still it's in its box.
Yes. And I'm not saying you would have used a cast iron pan, but it would have made a nice decoration next to our waffle maker, which we have not used.
We have not used.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next one. Sorry. That's the previous one. Exercise equipment that's collecting dust. Okay. There's this thing called COVID. And
Ever heard of
it? When Gavin Newsom closed our gymnasiums, I thought, well, I'm going to work out and have weights in our garage/annex. And so I bought some dumbbells. I bought a bench. And I used it. That was last November, and I used it almost every day.
Yeah.
6 days a week.
To your credit, absolutely, you used it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then in June-ish, June 15th, I want to say the day is, Gavin Newsom said, hey, you can go to the gym now. And you can indoor dine and all this stuff. So I started going to our condominium gym.
Yep.
And I bought a bench and a bunch of dumbbells, which was about $200-ish in total. But I no longer use it. So it is collecting dust, but it did serve me well.
And
in the many months that Gavin Newsom said.
And we might need it in the future. We don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have it still.
Yes. And it's good storage. It's like people who have the treadmill in their bedroom and then they throw clothes on it. It's like, oh yeah, it's a good storage. So it is collecting dust, but I used it. And if Gavin Newsom shuts us down again, I will go back to using it. Jeez, those days. So at 6 in the morning, I would move my car out of our garage.
Yeah. And
then lift on this bench, this $50 bench from Walmart.com, under the lights, the harsh lights that Judy Zone installed in our garage. It was a thing. But now we go to the river, our condominium gym.
Yeah.
We have a blast.
Yes, we do.
It's a good time. And sometimes we see other people in there. Sometimes we see mask lady who makes us pull up our masks. Okay, exercise equipment that's collecting dust. Next one, games with missing pieces. Honey.
Oh.
Yes.
Can you pause?
And oop.
Lennox Albert is 60% Hispanic or 40?
We talked about that.
I know, but
60.
So
No. 40.
Which one?
They're more white than Hispanic.
So 60%. So 40% Hispanic. So asking him to do a Day of the Dead drawing, is that racial or cultural appropriation?
No.
Okay. So I'm 50% Vietnamese.
Yeah.
So if my teacher said, draw a shrimp spring roll, wouldn't that be racial? No?
Well, a shrimp spring roll?
Yeah.
To what ends?
Well, there's a shrimp, there's some rice paper, a little lettuce, there's some, not coriander, but cilantro, honey.
Are they learning about Vietnamese culture?
Sure.
Honey.
At San Diego State in 1998.
And oop.
That random box of stuff is the next one. So we have what do we call them? Just throwaway, or what do we call them?
What?
The drawer under my nightstand, the drawer in our dresser.
Utility drawers.
Utility drawers.
Yes.
So we
have
have about 4 utility drawer locations in our laundry room and my nightstand and the dresser that we got from that place. Levitt's. It wasn't Levitt's.
I don't know.
The place on Madison Avenue before you get to Grandma Bev's. But we have a collection of stuff. I would even throw in why do I have a bunch of cotton balls underneath my sink, honey?
Oh, that was you. You bought all those.
Did I?
I think so.
Alrighty. What about the clothespins that we have in the drawer in the kitchen?
Me.
Okay.
That was me. And then I thought, you never know when you need a clothespin.
Right.
Okay.
As if you were going to hang up dry cleaning on some lines in the backyard and wind would drive through it and dry this laundry.
Yes.
You had this
I did.
Imagination.
I know. Like, you never know when you need a clothespin. Okay, you never know.
Right.
And it turns out you don't need one ever.
It turns out you do know when you need a clothespin.
and it's never.
Yeah. You don't have the lines in the backyard.
No, I don't.
We don't, honey. Well, be honest, most people don't. Okay, so let's agree to throw that out. Let's move on as a loving couple. Next one, someone else's stuff. We don't have much of someone else's stuff, but darling daughter Luna Marie and darling son Lennox Albert, when they go to Grandma Bev's, who we talked about for 5 minutes or 25 minutes earlier, like a lot of times they don't bring clothes because they're like, oh, we have clothes there, or there are clothes there from someone, and Luna ends up in a Julia oversized sweatshirt from the brand Echo, which was hot in 1996. But we don't have a lot of stuff, but some people, they just have kids' clothes that they collect over the years. And if a kid comes stay with them, then, hey, here are some clothes, right?
Yeah. They end up coming, they come home with some stuff.
Yeah.
Or they just, they accumulate things there.
Right.
And sometimes it ends up here at our house.
Right. And thankfully, do we have any of Jace's clothes or Eli's?
No.
Okay. We're keeping it on the low.
Yes.
We don't have much of someone else's stuff, but if our darling children go to various locations, they will have clothes. Yes?
Yes, they often do.
Next one. Items, and I'll just combine these two. Items earmarked for donation / items you meant to return. Okay. The donation, we found someone through a West Sacramento Facebook group that we give a bunch of clothes to and shoes and various, even some of the electronic items I was talking about earlier, we've given to, and they've shown their appreciation. Well, they haven't shown their appreciation, and we're like, well, should we give it to the Weave charity or something? But it comes down to being easy. Like I just message them through Facebook and I'm say, I'm gonna drop a garbage bag full of stuff on your front porch, and David Bartlett, who may or may not be a woman, says okay, and so it's super easy.
Yeah,
like we don't need to go downtown or midtown.
Yeah,
it's on the way to Walmart, and I drop off a garbage bag full of whatever, and they take it, and it's a lot of it is good stuff, high quality stuff.
Yes. And
David Bartlett may or may not have a thrift shop.
Whatever.
Somewhere.
I mean, we don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
We gotta get rid of it, and it's going somewhere. So okay, take it.
And then items you meant for return. Honey, explain the Sheen yoga pants that
Oh
are
my
too long
gosh.
for you, that have sat on our wicker storage
I
bin
still-
for a month or so. Yes.
I still hope to return this to Sheen.
Yes.
So Sheen, I bought.
All the kids are on Sheen. Luna Marie is all about that Sheen life. Yes.
Yeah, she is. So I
It's
bought
it's a clothing brand that is cheap
on-
and hip.
online.
With,
Yeah.
Right, online
Cheap.
with the kids.
Yep.
Kids love it.
So, but I ordered a pair of pants and a shirt that didn't fit really well.
Pants?
So
Yes.
I want to return them, and then I've been really lazy about returning them.
Yes.
I hope to still,
Yes.
and if I can't, then I hope to put it back into the
David Bartlett.
the David Bartlett
Ether?
sphere
Yes.
somehow.
And I only bring this up to highlight my pragmatism, honey. I've always said, buy something from Old Navy's website or Gap's website or Abercrombie's website or American Eagle.
Yes.
So you can return it to a brick and mortar store.
Absolutely.
And if we go to Arden Fair, if you bought yoga pants that didn't fit, we could return them to Gap store at Arden Fair Mall, and it
Yes.
would be over and done with in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, you're so right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when it comes to website, they're like, oh, we have these instructions, and you got to get the label,
yes,
and it becomes a whole to-do.
It's very complicated.
Yes.
And I've learned. I learned my lesson.
Have
Okay,
you?
I want to. No, yes.
Well, what's going to happen to the Sheen leggings on our
I will
wicker?
try to return it, and I
Yeah.
either will or will not succeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Amazon is its own thing because I return Amazon things all the time. You
Yeah.
just have to literally drop it off to a UPS store. They scan the QR code and you're in and out of there in under a minute. It's unbelievable. But that's just my thing. Yeah. So buy from Shein. And if you buy something, find out how to return it
Yeah.
immediately and return it
Yes.
immediately. Next one. Oh, this is gonna be hard, honey. Are you ready for that? Are you sitting? I mean, I know you're sitting down, but are you sitting down? The next one on 13 things in your annex that Aunt Suzanne would throw out is old luggage. Okay.
Oh!
In our bedroom closet, as my honey, what is that?
I'm covering my face.
Yes, but there's a acronym for that.
Is there?
Shaking my damn head, SMDH, or anyway. I see. What I'm looking at is a disappointment and just in my wife. So old luggage. So currently in our bedroom closet, which is, it's not a small closet. It's not like a bedroom closet. It's a little walk-in closet.
Yeah.
Our closet. And in our annex, with which we've talked about, there's a piece of luggage in each of yours that is filled with something. Clothes, I assume clothes. So you have two pieces of luggage that you've promised to me that you will go through
Yes.
and filter out and disseminate amongst the David Bartletts.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, well, there's two pieces of old luggage that are taking up space in our home. Honey, your comments, thoughts, feelings, comments, reflections? Yes.
I know. I know that one. Okay, there's one in question.
Yes. Which one? Is it the bedroom or the annex?
Listen, the one in our bedroom
Yes.
is fine.
Okay. Define fine. It's filled and you haven't gone through it.
Leave it alone.
Okay. I will.
It's I need it.
Okay.
I still need it.
And the annex one?
The annex one is
Yes. Is it? Are you literally shaking right now?
I'm shaking. I'm speechless. Okay. Basically,
Does this have to do with something other than me, honey?
no.
Okay.
It's got to be thrown out.
The one in the annex.
Yeah, and it's time. It is time.
So the luggage and the contents you're saying are no longer relevant to you and can be tossed to David Bartlett.
Okay, one thing.
Maybe a woman or man. Yes.
My baby blanket is in there. Baby.
Your personal, so not Luna's, not Lennox's, but your personal.
Baby blanket.
Well, that's something important.
Okay.
Okay.
But other than that, no.
Okay.
Everything else, toss.
Okay. Let's go through it. Let's grab your blanket and then everything else let's burn in a fire with a really hungry guy.
I agree. Let's do it.
Next one. I combined these two, but all the storage baskets / shoe boxes. Okay. First of all, I feel seen. Okay. For a while, when we first moved into our current condominium, I was buying storage baskets like there was no tomorrow because they fold into a basket structure and you can throw stuff in there. And I would buy storage baskets from Dollar Tree for $1, and then I would buy $15 storage baskets because they had like a unicorn on them and I thought they were fun from Walmart. But I bought mini storage baskets and we didn't have much to put in them, and there are still empty storage baskets in our closets that I bought because the idea of I'm gonna throw stuff in here, but in reality they sit empty. Same with shoe boxes. We have 7 shoe boxes in our master bedroom walk-in closet. And one of them has some stuff in there. I couldn't even tell you what's in there. The other 6 sit empty, but shoe boxes are beautiful.
You're like, these are so good. They might be useful in the future.
I know.
No. They're not.
I'm sorry.
Throw them out.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't want to throw. What if we need them, honey? Again.
That's the thing you do not throw them out.
It's the classic first world problem. I have 18 Amazon boxes. What if I need them? I have 16 shoe boxes. What if I need them? But shoe boxes are more aesthetically pleasing, if you will.
Yeah.
And they sit up in our closet, never to be accessed. Shoe boxes, storage baskets, Amazon boxes. I'm actually pretty good about getting rid of Amazon boxes.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the week, if we have 3 or 8, I throw them in the recycling. I'm pretty good about that.
Yeah.
Like I think I don't think we even have a cardboard box, discarded cardboard box anywhere. Today was our garbage day. And finally, in 13 things in your annex that Aunt Suzanne would throw out. The last one is old lighting fixtures. Okay. And there's 2 instances which I would like to talk about, honey. One is that your mom, Liz Fisher, bought you a lamp from Lamps Plus on Sunrise Boulevard or Avenue. And we had it for a while in our annex.
I had it for a while in my house at New Hall Drive.
Absolutely. Yes, your previous residence.
I'm sorry, I'm eating a muffin.
It's okay. It's from the muffin mix that we got from Walmart or Dollar Tree.
Yeah, so,
But you had this lamp, and then when we moved into our current condominium, this lamp had no place.
Right.
Lovingly so. It's not like, get this lamp. Well, it's just like, well, we don't have room for this lamp.
Yeah. Yep.
So we put it in our annex for several months. Your mom and dad came back from Barbados.
Yep.
And since your mom bought this lamp for you, you were like, here's the lamp back.
Yeah.
I was
like, do you want this? I don't have space for it.
And they just moved into a new home in Lincoln.
Uh-huh.
So they need stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Liz Fisher gladly accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's serving a purpose in Lincoln, California?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the other thing I want to bring up is this salt lamp that's been sitting under our bed as you munch on a...
I'm sorry. I'm eating a muffin.
Yes. So we've had this salt lamp under our bed for... Since we moved here, right, babe?
Yeah.
You had it at your previous domicile residence. And there was no place to put it, much like the Liz Fisher lamp. And we put it in... The Liz Fisher lamp we put in the annex, but the salt lamp is small-ish. So,
okay.
So you put it under our bed. Yes. Tell us all the sordid details.
I hope that those who are listening can envision a salt lamp.
Sure.
Do you think they can?
Yes.
Okay. So, my mother.
Liz Fisher. Darling Liz.
Okay. So, in 2016, I took my kids, Luna and Lennox, to the something in San Francisco.
Okay.
And oop.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a salt lamp under our bed, which I gave you a deadline. I was like, in June-ish, May-ish, I said July 11th, which I picked out from nothing. I said, this salt lamp under our bed needs to go by July 11th, and it is currently October 1st. September is Hispanic Heritage Month, honey. I don't know if you heard, if you were listening 90 minutes ago. But there is still a salt lamp underneath our bed that sits, and hopefully it will be rid of. But you're into crystals and
I am.
all that sort of. And I think of that as... I just think it's silly. And I try to limit that.
I love you.
Yes.
I love you so much.
I love you too, honey. I love you. We love you. Okay, so we're just gonna go out on. There's a salt lamp under our bed that can be plugged in, providing light, but there's no room in our condominium, so it sits under our bed and has for 16
many months.
Yes, and it's fine.
We're fine.
We're fine. We love you.
This is fine.
Yes. Alrighty. That's the end of the program. It's been fun, but not really. Let's all try a little harder next time. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, and rate. Or don't. Do whatever you want. You're a grown-up. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your family. I threw the I'm a grown-up or I'm an adult on Twitter to John. Okay. I don't want to go into it.
Oh God. Okay.
The hate.
The hate.
Twitter is toxic, as Lennox Albert said. Twitter is toxic. TikTok is toxic. Please be sure to use our promo code for Geico. We don't have a promo code for Geico. Goodbye. I love you. We love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, I may have said I won't see my Aunt Tina again for the rest of my life, but I'm still a good person, and we're still good people. Do you remember when I talked about Aunt Tina?
Yes,
like 25
I do.
minutes
of
ago.
Course I do.
I barely remember, but
yes.
Rest in power in the future.
We love you, Tina.
Yes. And her husband is named Richard.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't mention this?
No.
Her husband is named Richard, but I remember when I stayed with them, he would, in some instances, his name was Dick.
Oh.
Which is Richard/Dick.
Yeah.
Dick/Richard.
Of course.
And I thought, that's quite the name to have. Dick. Okay. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day/night. Au revoir.
And oop.
We got chicken.
Is that crispy, juicy tender?